Coming up, leadership time.
Hello, you're all welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are watching us from. This is Global Leadership Group, as you're already aware, where we build capacity for leaders. That is our main goal. So once in a month, we look for very solid resource persons to be our guest speakers, and we select topics, and then they give us ideas on how we can build our leaders. So this evening, we have a very thought-provoking conversation on empowering women leaders. This discussion is specifically designed for women, and very fortunately for us, we are going to do that. The resource people are women, and we are encouraging all female professionals to be part of the conversation. We'll explore the topic, empowering women leaders, and delve into strategies for overcoming obstacles, building confidence, and achieving success in leadership roles. So, once again, the topic is empowering women leaders. So, I'll go straight into introducing our resource people in no particular order. I'll start with Mrs. Patricia Abinakisi. Mrs. Patricia Abinakisi is a distinguished human resource management and business development consultant, personal and career development coach, and author. She is the founder and chief executive officer of Sedat Consult Limited, a firm dedicated to providing business support in recruitment, staff and HR outsourcing, training and development, HR advisory, and business development services. I'm sorry. Patricia holds a Master of Arts in Human Resource Development and a bachelor's degree in Educational Foundations, both from University of Cape Coast. She also earned an Executive Master's Class Certificate in Organizational Development from the African Management and Productivity Institute in Accra, Ghana. In her professional affiliations, Patricia serves as a council member of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry and is a member of the Society for Human Resource Management Ghana. Beyond her consulting work, Patricia is an active columnist for Modern Ghana, where she writes insights on human resources and business topics. Her articles cover subjects such as effective leadership, emotional intelligence, and strategies for hiring the right talent. Patricia's expertise and contributions have established her as a respected figure in Ghana's human resource and business development sectors. Madam Patricia Abinakisi, you are welcome.
So much. Thank you, Happy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for making time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Thank you. And then we have Madam Dorcas Boating, Mrs. Dorcas Boating. Mrs. Dorcas Boating is a lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, where she plays a key role in shaping the academic and professional growth of her students. She holds Master of Philosophy in Management Information System and a degree from the University of Ghana, and has developed expertise in her field, contributing to higher education through teaching, mentoring, and research. With an extensive professional network, she actively engages with academic industry professionals, fostering a culture of continuous learning and development. Beyond her role as an educator, Dorcas is also an advocate for women's empowerment, encouraging female students to pursue academic excellence and leadership opportunities. Her contributions extend beyond the classroom as she strives to create an inclusive learning environment that supports the aspirations of young women in higher education. By championing women's empowerment alongside her academic duties, Dr. Batson is making a significant impact in both education and gender advocacy. Hello, Madam Dorcas. You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making time after your busy schedules to be with us. Thank you. And the last one is Mrs. Dede Kafi Odamtin. Mrs. Dede Kafi Odamtin has over 2 decades of work experience in the insurance and banking industry in various capacities as well as management consultancy and corporate training. She is currently the lead consultant for Professional Edge, a management and insurance advisory service provider and corporate training. She's a part-time tutor at Central University and also serves on University's Council. She holds an MBA in Business Administration, Marketing Option from the Central University Graduate School, as well as a degree in Business Administration, Marketing Option from the same university. She holds a professional diploma in corporate governance from the Institute of Directors Ghana. Additionally, she has attended several professional courses in leadership management, insurance, banking, and industrial relations, which have enriched her professional life. She is the author of the book Excel Professionally. Madam Dede, you are welcome, and thank you very much for making time out of your busy schedule just to be with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to be here.
Okay. So without wasting much time, we'll zoom straight into our main reason for being here tonight because our viewers can't wait to hear from you. So our topic is very interesting. Empowering women leaders. Empowering women leaders. So I'll start from Mrs. Patricia Binakisi. Please tell us about your personal journey as a woman leader. What were some of the key challenges and defining moments that shaped your career? And also, I mean, women often face unique barriers in leadership. So, what specific obstacles have you encountered, and how did you overcome them?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Interesting questions. Very relevant indeed.
Thank you.
Well, my journey as a leader started when I first, right? Okay, so I'm a professional teacher, and so I started my career as a teacher. But it got to a point that I realized that I needed to do more. So I ventured into the consulting space and entered the company as the assistant human resource manager after my master's degree. And so I entered this industry and the company with a certain mindset that I am unique and I have all that it takes to succeed at anything that I put my mind to. And so I didn't actually um, think that I couldn't achieve anything. So when I went there, within the first 3 months, I excelled to become the HR manager because my boss then was promoted to be the general manager. And I must say that I have always also believed that I need to always put my best foot forward. I need to always put in the hard work and I need to put myself out there. These are the three things that have actually guided me. First, I can do anything. I have what it takes to achieve anything. I have to put my best foot forward all the time, and I have to put in the work and put myself out there. Right. So that was what I did. Then 3 years after, I decided to move on to another sector I did for 2 years. Then when I decided to go into consulting myself as an entrepreneur, I told myself that the space is not going to be easy, because just like normal challenges that every startup faces, it was a cycle. I was full of enthusiasm, but then the reality hit me, and then I told myself that I wasn't going to give up. First was the challenge of getting consulting business, because we're new in the industry, nobody knew us, and I didn't let that deter me, because I decided to put myself in spaces where people will see me. So I remember my first job was from a network, a group of people that I had joined, and somebody put out an advert that if you're into recruitment, contact me backdoor, and I did. And it was a process, and we got our first job, and that was breakthrough for me. From there, yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult because I got pregnant when we had just moved to Cape Coast. I started a business in Accra, and I had to relocate to Cape Coast because my husband was there. I got married first, so I had to move to Cape Coast. So moving to Cape Coast also came with its own challenges, because the environment in Cape Coast, business wise, in terms of consulting, was not conducive. But with the support of my husband, we put up a place, nice office, hoping that businesses will flow in. Unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. And on top of that, the pregnancy came. It was a very difficult pregnancy, so the doctors advised that I stay off work. So throughout the 9 months, I was off work. Then we got people who were supposed to hold the fort, and we were paying them, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. They were only drawing salaries without really making an impact and growing the business. So we had to close the business down in Cape Coast. But then when I resumed work after maternity, then I discussed with my husband and said, okay, I can't let this kill this company, this setback. And I'm talking about the fact that pregnancy could be a setback, and the prolonged um, um, maternity leave, because yes, because I had to stay off work for close to 3 years. So when I got back, we moved the business to Accra, and then continued putting myself out there all the time. So that is it. For me, it's a journey that I believe, as a woman, I'm sorry, but I don't believe that a man should move for you to be there. I don't believe that a man should give you something. I believe that if you want something, you go all out and you take it. And the belief I have is that if I position myself so well, if I've developed myself so well, if I have promoted myself so well, I can compete equally with any man, anywhere, anytime. And that has helped me. So maybe as the conversation goes on, we can talk more about some of these challenges.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Patricia. It's true. Hard work, putting best foot forward, and believing in yourself. That, like, what a man can do, a woman can also do even better. And it is very true. It is very, very true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this insight. So, Madam Dede, do you have anything to add to this wonderful submission by Madam Patricia?
I think I share in a lot of what she has said. My experience has been similar. Of course, I started work in the corporate world quite at an early age, and the leadership opportunities that I saw initially by way of serving in the union of the organization what started my leadership. Um, Kicked off my leadership abilities, if I may say so. And it wasn't easy. Of course, there were a lot of men in there when it comes to the positions that were being held. And then along the line, there was an opportunity for the national level where I vied for elections and I won. And once again, we had more men on the executive level. But like Patricia said, it was a matter of hard work and being a believer in giving your all. I made sure that I brought in my A game. And that has been my style since I began work, and it has worked for me. And so, at every given point in time, it is about the hard work, it is about bringing value, it is about bringing in, your best. So, and once that happens, and your male counterparts also see that you are putting in your best, they definitely, most of the time, will also be supportive of you. There were challenges on the way, I must be honest, and I'm sure as we go on, we'll talk about the challenges as well. But I must say that it hasn't been easy, but you need to prepare yourself for all this. You need to know yourself. I mean, I think it all begins from knowing yourself. And by doing that, you are leading yourself. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you work on it, and therefore you are able to deliver and deliver very well.
Thank you so much. That is true. Knowing yourself, knowing your strength, knowing your weaknesses. Your weaknesses, you work on them, you build yourself, and then your strengths, you actually capitalize on them and do more, believing in yourself. Yeah, when you do that, your male counterparts will also give you support. That is very true. All that you are saying are very true because I can associate with them myself as a woman leader also. Okay, so thank you. Now, Mrs. Dorcas Patty, so please, have you ever mentored or have you played a mentor role? Have you inspired someone to become a leader? How important is mentorship in empowering the next generation of women leaders? Yeah. No, we can't hear you.
So sorry. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So in my field as in academia, everything has to be with mentorship. And so right from school, I saw that there was a lot of um, gender biases in the field of IT and computer science. It's a male dominated field. So I realized that I will venture into this field and empower a lot of women also to be in the field because I believe that what men can do, women can also do it well. And so through it, I've had a lot of women, and thankfully, most of these ladies that I've mentored now they are holding high positions in their organizations. And when I look at them, I get so excited because I also looked up onto some people and I am able to reflect on the memories and also the impact they had on my life. And I also feel so it as a responsibility to give back to those that are tutoring and those that need that assistance. So I have had a lot of them, and by grace, guidance, and support, they are now doing so well. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Madam Patricia, eh, about workplace, Madam Patricia, it's about workplace policies. In your opinion, what workplace policies or cultural changes are most crucial to achieving gender equality in leadership?
Right, thank you. Before I go into that, I want to add to the
Sure,
importance of mentorship
sure.
in 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 our in our development as women leaders. Is very important. And I for me, I see it as having a personal board of directors, right? You have a mentor, you have your peers, you have your coaches. It's important. See, if you really want to develop yourself as a leader, particularly as a woman, you need to invest in your development. Sometimes you need to get a coach, pay a coach to guide you, because the work environment, if you're in the corporate sector, the entrepreneurship journey, if you're an entrepreneur, It's not easy. People have walked that path and they know where the potholes are, if you like. They know where there's a sharp curve. So once you get in touch with them, it shortens your learning curve. It also gives you support, encouragement to be able to move ahead. You know, early in my career as a woman leader, I had a challenge. It was like a crisis moment for me. At that point, I was so low, and I thought that, you know, it wasn't working and I wasn't doing something right. It took a word of encouragement for my mentors at that time, Reverend and Mrs. Okran, to let me know that, look, these things happen in life, challenges will come, but you need to be resilient enough to know that these challenges will not make you stay down. You will get up, dust, and then get going. And so it's important that, yes, if you don't have a mentor, you need to get a mentor. And usually mentors, you identify somebody and they help you for free. But beyond mentorship, you also need a coach, somebody you pay some money, actually you invest, to make sure that they also walk you through the journey and guide you, and prepare you, position yourself well to advance in your career as a woman and as a leader. Now, moving to your question on the policy. Yes, I mean, statistics is very clear on women leadership at the corporate sector globally. Globally, it is said that only 27.1% globally of women are managers and leaders top level. So obviously there is a gap. But you also know that in terms of population, women make up more than 50%. And so, if that is not reflecting in the corporate sector, then it means that um, we are not doing things right as organizations. And so, in terms of policy, we need to first of all train our male counterparts, and you put it in your training policy that one of the things you will do, one of the trainings you will do, is to address unconscious biases. Sometimes unconsciously, the men tend to put stumbling blocks on the way of women. I have said, and I still stand by it, that for me, I don't think anybody will stop me from achieving what I want to achieve. But it's not everybody who is like me. And obviously there are barriers in the organization. So policy will resolve it. Policy that is not just sitting at the table, but policy that is being implemented, to say that, okay, we will train people for them to appreciate the value that women bring, because some men are traditionalists, and so long as you're a woman, they won't actually accept you as a leader. And if it happens like that, some women will just back up. Then also, and this one is eating deep into our organizations, where women are told that if you are pregnant, we will not employ you. Or if you are pregnant, or if you are employed within the next 2 or 3 years, don't be pregnant. I mean, how can you stop a woman from being pregnant because she is contributing to the development of the organization? So we should have a policy that clearly is against this. So your policy should be an inclusive policy where women are not made to choose between getting pregnant and being promoted, or between getting pregnant and being on a succession plan. So in terms of policy, let's do an inclusive one. Let's also provide well-being initiatives that give the conducive environment for women to thrive at the workplace. All right, so that when women are pregnant, let's support them. Let them enjoy the maternity leave. When they come back, put in place measures to make them feel comfortable, to welcome them back. The Ghana labor law has provided a minimum, said that, I mean, 3 months, but some organizations are doing 6 months maternity leave. Some are even giving paternity leave for the men to support their women. Some are also giving the lactating hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, to come to work late and then or close early. And that is, it should be enforced. Then apart from that, we should also make sure that, you see, we have made, especially at the top level, we think that a leader should be available anytime we need them, and should be at the workplace anytime, anywhere. And for me, it's a problem, because a woman may not be at the workplace when maybe she's on maternity. But is it possible that whatever she would have done at the workplace physically, she can do remotely? If it's decision making, does she really have to be at the office to make the decisions? If it can be, if she needs not be there, why don't we have the policy that says that you can have flexible hours, you can telecommute, you can work from home, and all that? If you do that, then you are creating the right environment for women to thrive. You are giving equal opportunities. You see, there's something we call motherhood penalty and fatherhood premium. So if it's a man, if it's a man, and she has a family, it's a plus for him. If it's a woman, then we tend to punish the woman for having a family, and that should be stopped.
Mm. Yes,
That
yes.
should be stopped, so that women can have level field for men as well as women to thrive. So that is what I will say for now. Maybe as the conversation progresses, we can talk more about it. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Madam Patricia. In fact, you hit the right buttons. It's very, very true. And for me, as an HR person, these are very important things for me, because even the labor law is on the side of the ladies, that you cannot, I mean, you'll be surprised that some companies that when you are working in, you join as a lady, first 2 years you cannot get pregnant and all that. I mean, whilst the labor law states clearly you cannot sack somebody just because she's pregnant. But all these things. So um thank God for a global leadership group, that we have such moments, and we have great women leaders like you coming to educate our public on some of these um, things. So thank you so much. Madam Dorcas, please, do you have anything to add to what Madam Patricia said?
Um, I totally agree with Madam Patricia, because in situations whereby women are not given the opportunity, especially if we have a traditional men heading and they do not give room for women to thrive, it becomes very difficult. I have been in academia all my life, and I will speak from that perspective. Most of the time, leadership roles and other things are there, but the policies do not favor women. Why? Because they see a young woman with potential to thrive, but they see that she's single, she'll get married, she'll be getting pregnant soon, she'll be going on maternity leaves, and work will stall. So why don't we give to someone who is done with childbearing and let the work flow? I feel these are some policies that needs to be addressed in our institutions that can help women. So if we, as we are speaking up like this, I think the whole public and the whole world is listening to us. There will be some reforms in order to help women thrive in various institutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I would like you to continue with this for me, about confidence and leadership style. So studies show women sometimes hesitate to step into leadership roles, the ladies themselves, you know, because of some of these things,
Yeah.
because of some of that
Mhm.
already happening in the system. So it's like, oh, I want to have I don't want to have a baby. I want to have a
Mhm.
baby. So maybe this
Mhm.
role, all these are so, it has affected the society so much that's
Yeah.
eating into it. For all you know, there's this lady who interviews, a very solid lady who has potentials like you
Mhm.
and Madam Patricia have said, but for fear that I have a a lactating kid. So I need to close at 4. I need to close at 3. But these people, how how would they react towards me and all that? So the confidence level is not there. So when we find out how can women build confidence and develop their unique leadership style.
All right. So I feel it all has to do with coaching, as Madam Patricia rightly said. If women are not developed and coached well to build their confidence, these are some of the things that intimidate us. Some of them I would say intentionally or on purpose. There are people there to frustrate the life of women so that they will lay back for men to take charge. But if you are so confident about your skill and your abilities and you deliver so well, they will have no choice but to come for you. And so it all has to be with how we mentor our young ones, even those that are already in the field, how we encourage them to know their self-worth and value, that they can do it and there shouldn't be any stumbling block for them. And they are there to deliver and excel. That is all. It will have to break any barrier. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have to encourage the young or up and coming female employees. Yeah, we have to encourage them so that their confidence level would grow so that they can do their job and deliver. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
So yeah. So Madam Dede, male this about male allies and inclusion. How can men become better allies in the movement towards gender equality? And what role do they play in closing the gender gap in leadership?
Thank you very much. Before I tackle the main question, I think I'll just want to add to what my colleague said,
Sure.
that as part of the policies, one of the key things that needs to be looked at is also anti-sexual harassment policies. As young leaders or female leaders, I think one of the things that most women face is sexual harassment. Of course, these days our men also tell us that sometimes um, they also are harassed sexually. But I also believe that women face it more. So it will be necessary to have anti sexual harassment policies in place so that women can be well protected. But beyond that, I think that as young women or growing female leaders, we also need to have our values. There's a saying that if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything. And if we have values and we uphold such values, I believe that in the face of sexual harassment, we can still overcome and pursue our dreams. Additionally, I think that organizations would have to take advantage of the flexible working hours and have policies for that. Currently, we have remote, we have hybrid, and we have in person. So it would be good for organizations to look at these policies so that women can thrive better in the corporate environment. When it comes to our men, I believe that men most of the time are there to support us. Of course, there are very traditional ones who sometimes put stumbling blocks in the way of women. But I believe that largely, if we are able to deliver on the job and we come to the job very knowledgeable and also looking forward to learn, I believe that once, as women, we are able to pursue these, we will get our men as our allies, and definitely they will come in to support us. Once again, the issue of mentoring comes in, where we will need coaches or mentors to let us know how to go about some of these things. Because if we do not know, that is where we will play into the gallery, if I may call it, and then we would realize that we will not be achieving what we want to achieve. I also believe that we need to set goals. We need to set goals for ourselves in the line of ensuring that we are able to deliver whatever we want to deliver and achieve these goals. I believe that once we are achieving these goals and our male counterparts are also seeing that we are working hard at all that we are doing, they'll have no choice but to support us. But if we think that as women, we will get some of these things on a silver platter, I'm sure that is when we will be lazing around or we will not put in our all. And then our men would also take advantage of that. And when promotions come, we would realize that our men are always there and they are promoted. But we would need, as women, to make sure that we excel at what we do, invest in ourselves, and then ensure that we deliver and deliver very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we'll be going on a short break. So we're going on a short break and then we return and then we continue with our program. Thank you.
Leadership Summit 2025. Theme: Ethical Leadership for Sustainable Economic Growth. Date: the 25th of June 2025. Time: 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And venue: British Council, Accra, Ghana. Register now. Contact +233 55 959 4433. See you there.
You're welcome back. Yeah. So we continue with our program. So, Madam Tricia, it's about work-life balance. How do you manage work-life balance while maintaining a leadership role? What strategies do you recommend for women juggling multiple responsibilities like you? It's a very good question for you
Thank you
because
very much.
you are just impossible. You do a lot of things at the same time and you do them perfectly. So this question is for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, before I answer that, if you permit me, just to add a bit
Oh, sure.
to the confidence building
Yes,
for
please.
women, I have said from the beginning that women we need to, and Mrs. Odampton has stressed that as well as Dorcas. We need to invest in ourselves,
Mhm.
and you see, nobody will do that for you,
Yeah.
and nobody will take you serious if you don't develop yourself, if you don't add value to yourself. And there are people who are very good at what they do, but they don't want to blow their horns, like they say. So they are sitting in their corner somewhere. But you see, you can't light a candle and put it under a bushel. You have to put it on a candle stand. You have to put it out there for people to see the light and follow. So yes, you are good at what you do, but put it out there for people to know. And you can build self-confidence by also volunteering for some of the roles or projects at the workplace. And for me, that has helped me a lot. I will always put myself out there. Always say I want to help, and whatever project it is. And you see, when you do that, apart from you putting yourself out there, you're also learning. And the more you learn, the more you add value to yourself. So let's invest in ourselves. Please, ladies, it's very important. Mrs. Odampton said it. It will not happen on a silver platter. You will not just be given. You should go out and take it. And if you are not well developed, if you don't add value to yourself, you don't build your self confidence, you need to deliberately, intentionally work the journey, set the goals for yourself. For example, you know that, okay, you are good at what you do, but when it comes to confidence, you're a bit not there yet. You can get a coach to help you through the process. You can also invest in learning. These days, technology has made it so easy for us to learn a lot of things. I have, through YouTube and other platforms, learned a lot of things. that I'm using right now that is helping me. And one thing you should use or learn about is cultivating executive presence, because you may be good at what you do, but if you don't exude that confidence that says that this lady is up to the task, they will not take you seriously. So build executive presence, develop gravitas, let exude confidence, and it will not just happen, because I know that sometimes our upbringing is such that if you're they tell you that if you're talking to an elderly person, just look down, put your hands at your back, stuff like that. And that has affected us in a way such that we are not able to go all out. But this is a time to put on the brakes and then go back to the table and learn to actually build your confidence. So that is what I would say about that. Develop your confidence and let it show, and be assertive. Without that, you cannot thrive at the workplace as a woman. Be assertive, develop yourself, add value to yourself, but be assertive. Respectfully, but state your mind. Respectfully, but make your point. Respectfully, but in the room, be heard. And apart from that, understand corporate politics. Listen, whether you like it or not, there is politics at the workplace, at the corporate setting. You can play it, you can choose not to play it. And by corporate politics, I'm not talking about boot leaking, where you talk ill about people to gain favor with the boss. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is understand your corporate setting, understand who gets promoted and why they get promoted. Why is it that you are passed over when it comes to promotion? How is it working? Get godfathers. I mean, get we call them sponsors at your workplaces. When in the boardroom, let somebody be there who will speak for you, because you are good at what you do. But if nobody speaks for you, you will not be taken serious and you will not be given the opportunity. In the boardroom, at the table when you are not there, get somebody there who will speak for you. There have been many instances where people have come to me because they heard my name somewhere for something that I do, and that has opened doors for me. So networking within the work corporate setting, do your networking, get sponsors, and not bootlicking. I beg, there's a difference between the two. But understand the corporate setting, understand corporate politics, and play it, because whether you like it or not, it happens. Either you are on the table as a meal, or you are sitting at the table enjoying the meal. The choice is yours. Right. Okay. I think I've said a lot about that, but you were asking about juggling, yes, juggling all the things together.
Sure.
Number one, you really need a strong support system as a woman. Look, you cannot achieve it all without the support of whether if you're married, your spouse, if you're not married, your family, your friends, your what I call your personal board of directors. So that includes your mentor, that includes your coach, that includes your peers that can really tell you the truth and will not lie to you because they want you to hear what you want to hear, right? So that is one. For me, I have been able to do all these things, and thank God for that, because of my husband. And I will say it anywhere, anytime, any platform, any opportunity I get, because like you said, I do a lot of things. I run around a lot. Last week I was in Takoradi having the conference, and prior to that I had to be away from home for weeks to make sure that I get ready for the conference and all that. And my husband has been very, very supportive. We discuss things. He supports me even before I got married. I remember one of the things during the counseling that I told the pastor who was then counseling us was that, look, one thing I expect for my spouse, my partner, is support. I want a man, because I'm going somewhere, I want a man who would support me to achieve my dreams, to achieve my goals. I don't want a man who will compete with me. Some men compete. If you do that, you then have to sacrifice your home for your career or for your dreams. And so getting the support is very important, strong support. And then also, when you get the chance, make sure that You spend time with the people that matter to you the most. Work is important, but family is most important. The former CEO of Coca-Cola, and I'm wrapping up. The former CEO of Coca-Cola once said that in life, everybody is juggling 5 balls. Yes, 5 balls. So you are juggling your career, that is work. You are juggling spirituality, that is your spiritual life. You are juggling social life. You are juggling your health and some other. So there are five, and all these 5 balls, yeah, all of them are made of rubber balls. So when it drops, it bounces back. But there's one of the balls which is made of glass. Once it falls, it shatters, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that is family. Job is a rubber. When you fall, it bounces back. You can pick it up again. Your health, you cannot pick it up once it shatters. So family, your health, other things. So understand and choose your battles carefully. The ones that you can sacrifice without really feeling the impact, even at your old age. And don't forget that we will retire someday, and we always fall back on our family and on our health, so that we make the time to build our families, look after our health. Very important. Look after your health. And especially entrepreneurs, I know Mrs. Odamte will agree. Sometimes we spend all our time working, even if it's a holiday, even if it's a weekend. You get up, you're on your laptop, you're working and all that, and you don't take care. By the time you realize you've not even had breakfast, not to talk about lunch and all that. But we need to be conscious and deliberate that, look, as we are taking care of our businesses, our jobs, our careers, we also need to take care of our health and our families. And let's be balanced. We cannot achieve 100%, but the pursuit of it will help us and will keep us going. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is very true. In fact, what I jotted down for myself is the balls that we are supposed to juggle with, and we need to be very careful. There are some that if you are not able to catch it and then it falls, and then there's nothing you can do, like your health. That is very true because we are very busy ladies. I mean, as a woman, by all means, you'll be busy because your job, your family, I mean, you will be busy by all means, but you should know that your health is very important. And then your spiritual life, and then your social life, and all that. In fact, that is very true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. I want to read a few of the comments we have received so far. In God we trust says, we need a mentor to guide us. That is very true, Madam Patricia. This is by In God We Trust. Then Ernest Natu said, thank you. In God We Trust said, thank you, Madam Dorcas. Well spoken. In God We Trust says, we need to set goals. That's the key. Well said, Madam Dede. In God We Trust again said, no bootlicking for promotion. Well said, Madam Patricia. Uh, thank you. So my next person goes to Madam Dorcas. Madam Dorcas, it's about equity pay and promotion gaps. So women still face wage gaps and slower career advancement in many industries. What steps can organizations take to address these inequalities? And also your advice to young women, like what advice will you give to young women who are aspiring to become leaders, especially those in the male dominated industries like the mining, the oil and gas, the banks, the insurance, construction, those ones, and even
All right.
academics. Yes.
All right. So to start off with the pay equity and promotion gaps, like my Madam Patricia and Madam Dede have rightfully said, as women, we need to train ourselves and place value on ourselves. Thereby, making progress and adding value to what we already have. Because you'll not get promoted when you have not achieved anything. So if there is a need for you to do some short courses, if there is a need to go for training seminars, you need to do that. And all of this add up to what you hold and also brings more value. And this brings you to or gives you the deserving promotion that you need. Because, like they rightfully said, it will not come on a silver platter, meaning you have to work towards it. And whilst we are at it, organizations must also address the wage gaps, which has to do with various policies that exist in organizations, and also make sure there are plans that are there for the career advancement for women, especially in the corporate world. In some organizations, there are some courses that are being given employees to do quarterly for assessment. That is, they added to their KPIs to achieve. And whilst they do that, it helps them and it gives them the promotion that they so deserve. And also, it puts them with their male counterparts on the same platform, that there wouldn't be any disparities in terms of their salary and also other things. And in every organization, when there is transparency in promotion pathways and also accountability, which fuels progress, it makes everybody comfortable and it helps the organization to grow. So since we have these women leaders in HR departments and others, I think they can work towards it more for our women to progress. And my advice to young women is that you need to step boldly. Don't wait for perfect conditions. We need to take risk. We need to embrace failures as lessons. And we have to surround ourselves with mentors. Confidence grows with experience. So once you are able to take the first step, it's in the right direction to keep you moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot from what you have said. Young ladies should take risk, take bold step. Yes. And if I link it to what you said earlier on, you have to prepare yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to build on your strengths, you know. And like Madam Patricia also said, you have to be able to play the workplace politics very well. Know you have to have godfathers or godmothers who speaks for you in the boardroom. That is very, very true. You can be
Important.
a hardworking lady hiding in your department, hiding somewhere. Always focus on your targets alone. You can be the one who achieves most targets. But if nobody mentions you in the boardroom, you'll be there.
That's it.
And your HR manager remembers you, or they do some report and see that, oh, okay, this figure is going up because of this. It's very, very, very true. Very true. Very true. So, thank you so much. Madam Dede, what's the future of women in leadership? What do you see as the future of women in leadership, and how can we accelerate progress towards true gender parity?
Thank you very much once again. Just to add to the question on the balance, work-life balance, and then I'll tie it into the question. I
Okay.
believe that having looked at our family, having looked at our health, when it comes to the work environment, as leaders in the work environment, I think that we need to ensure that we have the right environment. Let us not be antagonistic at work, expecting that things will go on anyway, anyhow. It is something we need to cultivate. As a woman leader, you need to be a team player. You need to show empathy. And like Madam Patricia said, you will need to be there for other people. Because just like you are looking up to other people to help you, support you, to have a work life balance, other people are also looking up to you. So, in the office space, you need to ensure that you are there for people and you are a very good team player. Once that happens, you would also be able to delegate responsibility and the workload will become lighter. There used to be this perception that you shouldn't teach people your work because they will end up taking over your work. I don't think that thing holds in any way. You are better off teaching people to make the burden lighter. And at the end of the day, the people, all things being equal, the people will even give you credits for that. The future of women in leadership is very bright. I think gradually women are coming up. In fact, we are really doing well, I must say. It used to be that there were just a few of us at the top, but now increasingly we are getting a lot more women. What can I say? All that we have said, let's have good networks that will encourage and support upcoming female leaders. Let us ensure that as much as possible, we as the upcoming leaders or the leaders invest once again in knowledge, build our confidence, step up to the plate, and above all, ensure that we excel at what we do. Once we do that and our professionalism is up there, I believe we will definitely get the kind of attention we want to get, and we will also help bring along a lot more women. The future indeed is bright.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, um, I'm really sad that our 1 hour is up because, in fact, I'm really sad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Patricia. Thank you so much, Madam Dede. Thank you so much, Madam Dorcas.
Is it
Although
time
our,
yet that I was
our,
going to say one thing
although our
before,
time,
or you won't take
yes,
the final word from me?
although our time is up, but then I will give each of us, let's say, a minute to
Okay.
give final words. And that's why I was saying the 1 hour is up, and I'm really sad. Okay, so we'll start from Madam Patricia.
Okay, so briefly, in terms of policy, in terms of bridging the age gap, the wage gap, and it is real. Globally, it's about 20%. So men with the same level, the same value of work, get 20% more pay than women. That is what research says. But what can cure this is a well-structured compensation and benefits management policy that also has the well-developed salary structure, and like Doka said, promotion policy well implemented. Then we can avoid some of these things. In Ghana, a lot of companies are doing well. Those who are well-structured companies and salaries, the discrimination you don't see that much, and I think it's a plus. And other companies can take a cue from that. My final words are these, and I said from the beginning, for me, remember that you have what it takes as a woman. You are not limited because you're a woman. You have what it takes to succeed, achieve anything in life. And then number two, put in the work. It will not just happen. Make the sacrifice, pay the price so that you can get the prize. So put in the work and put yourself out there. Promote yourself. Look, it's not a sin to promote yourself. So promote yourself. Put your work out there. Let people know what you have achieved, and they can also give you the opportunity when it is. And then network, and make sure that you have personal uh, um, board of directors, personal board of directors. A mentor should be part of that. Your peers that can advise you without really thinking that you'll be hurt, tell you the truth as it is. And then your coaches, invest in coaches. They will help you to do well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Madam Dorcas, you have a final word, or you said it already?
Um, yeah, so it's still the same thing. As women, we need to take risks.
Yeah.
We need to embrace our failures and also surround ourselves with mentors. So, like Madam Pat said, we have to do continuous learning, networking, and also seeking mentorship. And also, we have to take on leadership roles early, that is from for upcoming young leaders. They have to take on leadership roles very early, and they are to gain hands-on experience that can accelerate career growth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Madam Lady, you have final word for us in a minute.
Okay. Finally, I just want to say that we need to understand what leadership is all about. It is about service. It is not about power play or trying to prove a point. When you want to do that, then you would miss it. But we should all bear in mind that leadership is about service. And as women, we need to be daring, step up to the plate, and take on responsibilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. In fact, as for today, the 1 hour has the one. In fact, I wish I can extend. I wish I have the power to extend. Thank you so much. In fact, on behalf of Global Leadership Group, I want to say a very big thank you to our viewers and our honorable, powerful, um, female guest speakers. You've shared rich ideas with us, and our potential leaders or our leaders, female leaders, will learn a lot from it that will help them get to the top. God bless you, and don't be surprised if I come knocking on your doors again. Thank you, and I wish you all the best. Bye bye.
Thank you and have a good night
Thank
too.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Right.
Leadership Summit 2025. Theme: Ethical Leadership for Sustainable Economic Growth. Date: the 25th of June 2025. Time: 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And venue: British Council, Accra, Ghana. Register now. Contact +233 55 959 4433. See you there.